Welcome back. All right, so 9 games tonight in the National Hockey League. Of course, we had overtime with the 7:30 start. That started to become a thing again, hasn't it? And we'll get there, but I wasn't surprised. As soon as the third period started, I was like, oh, okay, so we're going overtime. Cool. All right. So we're going to start things off talking about Dallas and Detroit. And Dallas is lucky that hockey games are 60 minutes and not 65, because otherwise I think Detroit would have come back and won this. All right, so it's Ottinger versus Lyon. Early press by Detroit. There's a near miss by Sprong. More pressure. There's a toe save on Costin in close. Too many wings on the ice, though. The Stars get a power play, and they score on it. Ben buries one from in close. Robertson and Harley with the assists at 3:24. The Stars then go back to the power play. That one's killed off. Lyon holds on to a shot after that's done. Stars press at 8 minutes. The Wings are forcing turnovers. The shots are 7-5 Detroit with 8.5 minutes left. There's a near miss for Larkin in close. The Wings draw a power play, and they score on theirs as well. At 14:33, it's Perron from Gostisbehere and Raymond. And he wires it top far corner. And Detroit was trying to hit that spot all night, and they hit it a few times. So, Wings go back to the power play, and DeBrincat puts it in the exact same spot Perron did. Glove side, top corner. Sprong with the assist on that at 16:53. The Stars press to close it, but it's 2-1 Detroit after 1. Second period, 22 seconds in, Dallas ties it. It's Marchment from Duchesne and Sagan. Veleno's then denied on a 3-on-2. Shots are 5-2 for Dallas at 3.5 minutes, and at 4:35, Hintz buries one 5-hole from in close. Johnston and Harley with the assists there. Wings press at 9.5 minutes. The teams exchange turnovers, and Lindell would add one for Dallas. Johnston and Hintz with the assists on that at 11:40. That was a one-timer from the left circle. And then Rope Hintz. It's a turnover forced by Johnston. Wyatt Johnston had himself a game. Johnston with the assist on this one at 15:12. So, Hintz with a couple of goals. Johnston with 3 assists. And it is 5-2 in favor of Dallas after 2. Third period. Reimer in the net because you got to change something. I don't think it was on Lyon. I really don't. Stars press at 4 minutes. The Wings score, but it's offside. And that goal, exact same spot as the first 2 goals Detroit had. They definitely had a book on Ottinger tonight. So there's a power play for Detroit, and they score on it. It's Larkin from Raymond at 11:27. This one was buried from the slot. It did not go in the same spot as the other 3 goals had. Shots are 10-4 for the Wings with 6 minutes left. The goalie pull happens, and Detroit scores. It's JT Compher from DeBrincat and Larkin at 16:46. With 38.9 seconds left. During the 6-on-5, it becomes a 6-on-4 as Dallas takes a penalty, but Dallas holds on and wins this one 5-4. They go to 28-13-6 with the win. Detroit 24-18-5 with the loss. The shots on net 12-7 Detroit in the first, 25-7 Dallas in the second, and then 15-6 Detroit in the third. Final shots 38-34 for Dallas, meaning if you were at one end of the ice in Detroit tonight, you didn't see very many shots. If you're at the other end, you saw all the shots. Power plays, 1 for 2 for Dallas, 3 for 4 for Detroit. Very unlike Dallas to allow 3 power play goals. Hits 19-9 in favor of Detroit. Ottinger saves 30 out of 34. Lyon saved 27 out of 32. And then Reimer came in relief and saved all 6 shots he faced. So, yeah, if this game had gone another 5 minutes, I think Detroit would have found a way to come back and win it. All right, next up, Ottawa and Montreal. Ottawa kind of owns Montreal. This is the 8th time in a row they've won this matchup. So it's Korpisalo versus Allen. Giroux fires one wide on a rush. The shots are 2-1 for Montreal at 4.5 minutes. We get a power play for the Sens. That becomes 4-on-4, meaning it becomes a power play for Montreal, meaning it's a shorthanded goal. When Ridley Gregg scores, Brandstrom and Norris with the assists at 7:45, and he buried his own rebound at the net. Sens finish the kill, and then at 8:26, Sanderson, shortly after it's done, scores from Zub and Stützle, and that was posted in. Nice goal by Jake Sanderson. Sens press are kept to the outside. The Habs press with 5 minutes left. With 3:26 left, the Sens get a power play. That's killed off. It's 2-0 Ottawa after 1. Second period. Early power play for the Habs, that's killed off, but they get another. That then becomes 1 minute and 22 seconds of 4-on-4. And at 6:22 on the 4-on-4, a breakaway goal for Shane Pinto. So his second game back, he gets his first goal. Giroux with the assist there. It's now 3-0. And then everything gets killed off after that. Shots are 4 apiece at the half. There's a delay game call, gives the Habs the power play. Caulfield's robbed as that comes to an end. Things get pushed in a hole by Korpisalo. 2:45 left. The Habs get a power play. That's killed off. It's 3-0 Ottawa after 2. Third period, shots are 6-1 Montreal at 4 minutes, but Korpisalo doing his theftiness. Power play for the Sens. That becomes 27 seconds of 5-on-3, but Montreal does kill all of that off. Suzuki to Caulfield, near miss at the net. Habs press at the half. Good forechecking by the Sens. The Habs then get some pressure and they score. Kovacevic with a goal from Caulfield at 12:31. And so that's a point shot that ends the shutout bid for Korpisalo. There's a post for Caulfield. The goalie pull happens with 3:05 left. And at 17:33, Matthew Joseph hits the empty net to put this out of reach. Your final score is 4-1 for Ottawa, who are getting it together, but they're 18-24-1. They are so far out of the playoffs. Montreal 19-21-7 with the loss tonight. Shots on net, 11-6 Ottawa in the first, 9-8 Montreal in the second, 10-9 Montreal in the third. Final shots 28-25 Ottawa. Power plays, both teams go 0 for 5 tonight. Hits 29-14 for Montreal. Korpisalo 24 saves on 25 shots. Jake Allen 24 saves on 27 shots. So entertaining game if you're an Ottawa fan, probably less entertaining if you're a Montreal fan. All right, next up. Tampa Bay in against Philadelphia. So Tampa Bay garb and all that. Vasilevsky versus Ersson, and Tampa Bay's back. At 1:48 they score. It's tipped in by Point. Crozier with the assist. So Crozier with his first National Hockey League point. Kudos to him for that. Bolts pressed at 3.5 minutes. The shots are 3 apiece. 6 minutes in, we get a power play for Philadelphia. That's killed off. Paul has a rush chance. That saved. 3:17 left. The Bolts with a power play. Now, it is killed off. However, Kucherov, right after it ends, scores from Radish and Hagel at 18:45. So it's 2-0 for Tampa Bay after the first. Second period, we get a power play for Tampa, and they score on it. So Philadelphia with a really good power play, but Tampa with a really good penalty kill for Philadelphia. Their power play is not. But yeah, the Tampa Bay power play is fantastic. Kucherov scores on this one from Point and Stamkos at 2:34. He buries that one from the side of the net. Atkinson's denied on a rush. There's a near miss for Hedman and Close. The shots are 3-1 for Tampa Bay at 5.5 minutes. Kucherov wanted a call on a play, and it does not happen. And then Atkinson posting in on a tip shot for him. The goals assists from Farabee and Walker at 9:56. So there's Sean Walker again. Makes it 3-1. We can then get a power play for the Flyers, and Jamie Drysdale gets his first goal as a Flyer on the power play from Frost and Atkinson at 14:04. And I said out loud when he scored it, that's what they picked him up for. Nobody was in the room. It was weird. It's a screenshot from out high by Drysdale. Nice goal. Makes it 3-2. Bolts press to respond. Eventually they get a power play. And Asimont buries one from the slot on the power play at 17:42. Kucherov with another point with the assist. Hedman with the other assist. So that restores the 2-goal lead for Tampa Bay. Flyers press in the final minute. Things are punchy at the horn. So we get 4-on-4 to start the third period. And during the 4-on-4, at 42 seconds, Cam York scores from Frost. So that tightens the game up a little bit. Mott then has a slot shot that's blocked. The Flyers press at 4.5 minutes. Shots are 4-1 Philadelphia, 6 minutes in. Forster nearly ties it. The Flyers press with 3 minutes left. The goalie pull happens with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. And at 19 minutes, Hagel hits the empty net. The assist to Cirelli and DeHaan. They pull the goalie again, because why not? And that allows Tampa Bay to hit the net again. At 19:49, Kucherov finishes the hat trick with the empty netter. Cirelli and Perbix with the assists. And that makes your final score 6-3 for Tampa. They go to 25-18-5 with the win. With the loss, Philadelphia 25-17-6. Shots on net, 7-5 Philadelphia in the first, 14-8 Philadelphia in the second, 11-8 Philadelphia in the third. Final shots 32-21 for Philadelphia. Power plays, Tampa Bay 2 for 3, Philadelphia 1 for 2. Hits 14-8 Philadelphia. Vasilevsky 29 saves on 32 shots. Ersson, tough night. 15 saves on 19 shots for Ersson. But yeah, Tampa Bay has been known to put up a pretty good shooting percentage at times, and tonight was one of those times. All right, next up, Vegas and the Islanders. So Vegas needed a bounce-back game, and they get it. Hill versus Sorokin. Nice to see Aiden Hill back, and he gave them the goaltending you're looking for. Vegas presses at 3.5 minutes. Horvat has a shot that's held. Haig has a chance that's kicked aside. Shots are 3-2 for the Islanders at 7 minutes. There's a post for Kyle McLean as the Islanders press. Dobson has a shot that's blocked. It's cleared, and then Barbashev scores from Pietrangelo at 11:52. It's a point shot by Pietrangelo that's tipped in front of the net. All of a sudden, it's 1-0 for Vegas. The Islanders look to respond. There's then a crossbar for Alec Martinez. It remains 1-0 Vegas after one. Second period, the Islanders didn't really have a path to the net until they did. Nelson scores from Romanov and Dobson at 3:35, so that ties the game up. Pellick's denied from the slot. The shots are 4-1 New York, 6 minutes in. We get a power play for Vegas, though, and Sheldon Rempel scores his first NHL goal. Good for him. Roy and Pietrangelo with the assists at 7:18. So that makes it 2-1 for Vegas. We then get a post from Dobson from the point, and then Roy at 9:05 scores from Marchessault and Barbashev. So post at one end and in the net at the other makes it 3-1 for the Vegas Golden Knights. Fasching's then denied as the Islanders press. Shots are 14-4 for the Islanders with 7.5 minutes left, but 2 of the 4 shots for Vegas have gone in the net. Barbashev misses one wide. Stevenson's denied late. It is 3-1 for Vegas after 2 periods. Third period, early power play for the Islanders. Riley has a chance at save. That's killed off. The Islanders go back to the power play, and that's killed off too, mostly because Hill's fantastic. Shots are 7-2 for the Islanders at 7.5 minutes. There's a press by Vegas at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for Vegas. Really loud booing for that. That booing doesn't last. Early in that power play, the Islanders score shorthanded. It's Pajot from Holmstrom and Pellick at 9:26. He goes high glove side on that one. Shorthanded Horvat chances held. That power play's killed off, and Vegas was probably glad when it was done. Haig has a shot after that. That's held. 6:39 left. The Islanders with a power play. It doesn't last. We get 23 seconds of 4-on-4. A lot of booing from the crowd on that one. Power play's killed off. Goalie pull happens with 1:45 left. Palmieri nearly ties it. Horvat takes a puck to the face. That looked like it sucked. He left for repairs. And Vegas holds on and wins 3-2. They go to 28-14-6 with the win. The Islanders 20-16-11. And clearly there's still some work to be done. Shots on net, 8-7 Islanders in the first, 18-9 Islanders in the second, 16-11 Islanders in the third. At least they outshot them 42-27, so they have that going for them. Power plays, Vegas 1 for 3, the Islanders 0 for 3, the hits 24-11 for the Islanders. Hill saved 40 out of 42 in his return, and Sorokin saved 24 out of 27 at the other end. So basically Aiden Hill comes back and plays like he had been before the injury. And he finished the whole game, which he didn't do the last time he returned. So good on him. All right, next up, Washington and the Minnesota Wild. So it's Kemper versus Gustafsson. Early jump for the Caps. Not that they get a lot of shots, and not that it lasts, because at 1:36, Minnesota scores first. It's Faber. The second shot of the game for Minnesota goes in. Zuccarello and Rossi with the assists. The Wild press. They're kept to the outside, but then Foligno buries a rebound to make it 2-0 at 4:42. Boldy and Eriksson Ek with the assists. Minnesota's ahead and in complete control of the game. Caps draw a power play. That's killed off. Brodin has a shot that's blocked and cleared. The Caps press with 7 minutes left. Mantha has a shot. That's held. Power play for the Wild. That's killed off. The Wild press with 1.5 left. But with 1:02 left, the Capitals get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period where Minnesota does finish the kill. Wilson has a net drive. That's blocked. The Wild press at 4 minutes. Boldy can't bury one in close. The shots are 4-2 for the Wild at 5 minutes. Brodin fans on a prime opportunity at the net. And then Johansson scores on the rush. Bogosian with the assist at 6:28. And that was after a great save by Gustafsson at the other end. There's a net feed to Rossi. That's blocked. Hartman has a shot kicked aside. And then exactly at the halfway mark of the game, at 10 minutes, Anthony Mantha scores from Kuznetsov and Ferravari. The Wild then had a 2-on-1 that misfires. Brodin is denied shortly thereafter. We get a power play for the Wild. That's killed off. Caps press in the final minute, but after 2 periods of play, it's 3-1 Minnesota. Early in the third, at 1:37, it's a rush that scores. It's Eriksson Ek making it 4-1. The assist to Foligno and Brodin. Pacioretty has a shot that's held. The Wild press 4 minutes in. Power play for the Caps. That's killed off. Shots are 5-3 for Washington with 9.5 minutes left, and then it's an insurance goal for Minnesota. Johansson with the second goal of the game. Hartman and Maroon with the assists at 13:39. But with 4:54 left, the Caps get a power play, and they score on it. It is Oshie from Carlson and Pacioretty at 17:03. Point shot tipped in. One thing I noticed with Minnesota tonight, they're not making the mistake other teams have been making against Washington lately. They seem to be more concerned with Oshie on the power play than Ovechkin. Teams have been cheating over to double, man up hit on Ovechkin to make sure he can't get the puck. He's not the threat now. Now it's Oshie, and Oshie gets another power play goal tonight. And then at 18:24, just to make things more interesting, Mantha scores from Malenstein and Dowd, and he tips that in. So they pull the goalie down only 2, but Minnesota holds on. They win this one 5-3. They go to 21, 21, and 5 with the win. Washington 22, 17, and 6 with the loss. Shots on net 9-8 Washington in the first, 14-12 Minnesota in the second, 12-8 Washington in the third. They outshoot Minnesota 33-30. Power plays, Washington 1 for 4, Minnesota 0 for 2. The hits 15-13 Minnesota. Kemper saved 25 out of 30, and at the other end, Gustafsson saves 30 out of 33. So good night for Gustafsson. They do hold on. They do win the game, so that's what you take out of it if you're Minnesota. And now I need to change boards. All right, so St. Louis and Calgary. Binnington versus Markstrom in this one. Early jump for Calgary. Schwint is denied on a turnover. Blues were having turnover issues early. They did not end up paying for it, though. Power play for the Blues. That's killed off. Markstrom, pretty sharp in his return to action tonight. The Flames press with 9 minutes left, and Weegar would score for Calgary. Anderson and Kadri with the assists at 11:38. Flames had some momentum with the lead. It's 1-0 Calgary after 1. Second period, Saad to Neighbors. That chance is saved. Teams exchange rushes. The shots on net are 2-1 Flames at 3 minutes. Lindholm can't bury one in close. Neighbors is denied on a turnover. Right in the slot, too. The Blues press at 8 minutes, and at 8:27 they score. Saad from Parayko and Leddy. The Flames then get a power play. That's killed off, but not long after it's done, Hanifin scores a one-timer from the left circle to put Calgary back in the lead. Sharon Govich and Tanev with the assists at 11:13. And then on a rush, Sharon Govich with his 20th goal of the season. He scores from Huberdeau and Lindholm at 12:17. So it's 3-1 in favor of Calgary. With 2:54 left, the Flames get a power play. So this is your chance to really take over the game. However, Shen steals the puck and scores shorthanded at 17:13. And according to the announcers, this is the first career shorthanded goal for Braden Shen. And the way he buried that on a breakaway, I think maybe he needs more time on the kill. Blues do finish the kill as well. So coming out of the second period, it's 3-2 for Calgary. Third period, Saad to Shen. That gets picked off. Sharon Govich has a net drive that's blocked. Parayko fires one wide. It's cleared. And then after a failed clear by Calgary, St. Louis scores. Kyrou from Thomas and Leddy at 6:56. Nick Leddy had a good night tonight. Had a few assists for himself. Flames look to respond. Gilbert has a chance. That's caught and held. The Flames press at the half. Neighbors has a turnover chance. That's blocked. So Jake Neighbors forcing turnovers and picking up some loose pucks tonight. Shots are only 4-3 for the Blues with 8 minutes left. So not a lot of opportunities out there. We get a power play for Calgary. That's killed off. And it looked like we were going to overtime. But at 19 minutes and 10 seconds, from a distance, Saad just scores. He gets that goal from Parayko and Leddy. And that makes your final score 4-3. So St. Louis, with kind of a shocker, they were down 3-1. They win 4-3. They go to 23-20-2 with the win. Calgary 21-21-5 with a very costly loss. Shots on net, 17-10 Calgary in the first, 13-9 Calgary in the second, 7-5 St. Louis in the third. Final shots 35-26 for the Flames. Power plays, St. Louis 0 for 1, Calgary 0 for 3. The hits 23-16 for St. Louis. Binnington saves 32 out of 35. Markstrom 22 saves on 26 shots. So that's a bit of a shocker. Got to be honest. I was thinking about wearing Calgary for the previous morning. They'll win. But I went with Edmonton, which was a bit of a risk because Edmonton on a 13-game heater, and you know how this guy jinxes teams unless you're paying attention to the record of jerseys I wear and teams when I wear their jersey for previews. But anyways, it's Merzlikins versus Skinner in this one. Good early flow in this. Not a lot of whistles. McDavid has a net drive that's saved. Bouchard has a turnover chance that's blocked. But the shots on net are 6-2 for Columbus at 5.5 minutes. They brought their work boots tonight. The Oilers get a power play, though, and they score on it. It's Fogle from Kane and Nurse at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And that was after a rush by Kane helped to set it up. We then get a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. No shots. But Columbus would tie the game. Voronkov scores from Kent Johnson at 15:25. Nice turnover chance generated by Kent Johnson there. Jackets press with a minute and a half left, and it's 1-1 after 1. Second period, the Jackets press at a minute and a half. Fantilli has a chance that's held. The shots on net are only one apiece, 5 minutes in. Jackets press at 6 minutes. Things get punchy in a hole by Skinner. We end up with 4-on-4 out of that. Then we get a power play for the Oilers, and they do score on the power play. It's McDavid, but it's offside, so that comes off the board. and then Columbus kills off the remainder, and then they get a power play of their own after that. That was killed off too. Skinner, absolutely fantastic again tonight. Just how it works. The shots are 9-3 for Columbus with 4 minutes left. And honestly, coming out of that second period, it felt like the Oilers were fortunate it was tied. As Skinner's going for his 11th straight win, which set an Edmonton record for goalies. Well, the third period was a little bit better. Columbus came into this one -30 in goal differential in the third periods. Third periods are killing the season of the Columbus Blue Jackets. They have a positive goal for goal against differential in first and second periods. Third period just kills them. So Foegele has a net feed that's held. Voronkov is dinged on a shot block. The Oilers had the only shot on net at 4 minutes. And then at 4:52, Kane. There was a bunch of tries in front of the net, and the third try goes in. Kane from Foegele and Nugent Hopkins. The Oilers press for another, and they get it. At 5:48, McDavid on kind of a bouncing puck, it goes in. Draisaitl and Ceci with the assists. Elvis protests. Columbus didn't challenge the goal. Get a power play for Columbus. That's killed off. Kane has a net drive chance. That's held. The Oilers press with 7 minutes left, and then Holloway buries a rebound. Again, Columbus not clearing the front of the net. I felt bad for Merzlikins in this because you need to clear the front of the net. Brown and Kulak with the assists at 15:34. 1:22 left. The Jackets get a power play. That just takes us to the horn. The final score is 4-1 for Edmonton. They go to 27-15-1. They've won 14 in a row. So Gagne has now been on 2 teams that have had 14-game winning streaks. He is a first in the National Hockey League's history to have that. For Columbus, they're 14-23-9, and the misery continues. Shots on net, it just shows how Columbus plays in third periods. 13-8 Columbus in the first, 10-5 Columbus in the second, and then 11-5 Edmonton in the third. Final shots 28-24 for the Blue Jackets. Columbus 0 for 4 on the power play, Edmonton 1 for 2. Hits 25-24 Columbus. Merzlikins 20 saves on 24 shots, and Skinner 27 saves on 28 shots. So the Oilers, they're the wagon that just keeps on wagoning. That's a term. That works. Wagoning. Sure. You can make a wagon. Anything can be a verb. All right. Buffalo and the Anaheim Ducks. And what's kind of a surprise, this is why I haven't been saying, Buffalo can get things going because I've kind of given up. And from tonight's play, through most of this game, it looked like Buffalo's given up. So it's Luukkonen versus Gibson. Good early back and forth. The Sabres press at 2.5 minutes. Not that they get shots out of it. There were no shots on net until Vetrano hit the net at 4:28. And then at 5:51, Jacob Silfverberg, who's suddenly getting goals again. He scores from Gudas and Fowler. It's a point shot by Gudas that's tipped in. Middlestad's tonight on a turnover. The shots are 7-5 for the Ducks with 7.5 minutes left. The Sabres press with 5 minutes left. Thompson's tonight. It's cleared out with 3:27 left. The Sabres with a power play. That's killed off. Matthias Samuelsson has a shot that's held. Ducks press to close it out. It's 1-0 Anaheim after 1. And then the second period where the destruction takes place. Anaheim putting up a season high in shots in that second period. We get a power play for the Ducks, and they score on it. It's Carrick from Zellweger and Terry at 3:37. He bats one out of the air there. And for Olen Zellweger, that is his first National Hockey League point. Kudos to him for that. Thompson's then denied on the next shift, but then at 4 minutes and 30 seconds, Jacob Silfverberg with his second goal of the game. McTavish with the assist. Great pass by McTavish to set that up. It's 3-0 Ducks. Sabres press for response, but the shots are 12-2 for Anaheim halfway through the period. Vakanainen's denied on a rush because he's never allowed to score a goal. He's never had one. He's never going to have one either. Sabres over 7 minutes without a shot at that point, and it would continue. We get a power play for Anaheim. That lasts 7 seconds. So if you're like, I'm going to get up and get a beer because, no, I guess I won't. So Carlson has a rush chance to save. The Ducks press in the final minute. I don't know why somebody would be going to get a beer at the start of a power play. Maybe because they figure there won't be a line. Anyways, I will often get up and go out to the concourse when I think everybody's going to be in watching the game. That's the best time to avoid lines. Anyways, it's 3-0 Anaheim after 2. Third period, early press by Anaheim. There's a power play for the Ducks. That's killed off. The Sabres press at 4.5 minutes. Not that they're getting shots. The shots are 5-0 Anaheim at 6.5 minutes. The Sabres press at the half, and I put here, but not well. Their passes were off. They were throwing it off. Like, it's just, everything was like Keystone Cops out there. You could put on the Benny Hill music for them. It was kind of embarrassing at this point. But with 5:58 left, the Sabres get the power play, and then they wake up. And if they played the whole game like they played the last 5 minutes, they probably get points tonight. So it's Greenway from Darlene and Cousins at 14:41. This is where John Buccigross had jinxed the shutout because he talked about shutouts. Said, there's no such thing as jinxing a shutout. And within a couple of minutes, Buffalo scores. So there you go. But then the goalie pull happens with 3:55 left, and Opposo scores from Thompson and Greenway at 17:04. So Jordan Greenway with a goal and an assist over about 2.5 minutes of the game. Suddenly it's 3-2. But they would pull the goalie again, and Adam Henrique hits the empty net from Vetrano and Fowler at 18:51. Things get punchy with 39.5 seconds left. This was a very emotional game, but it does feel like Buffalo woke up too late. Your final score is 4-2 for Anaheim. They go to 16-30-1 on the season. For Buffalo, 20-23-4 on the year. Shots on net, 9-8 Buffalo in the first, 19-6 for Anaheim in the second, 15-9 Buffalo in the third. Final shots, 36-30 for the Ducks. Power plays, both teams go 1 for 3. The hits, 21-19 for Buffalo. Luukkonen saved 32 out of 35. Lost in this. Luukkonen had a good game. Gibson had a very good game as well. 28 saves on 30 shots. So, bit of a shocker. But the big shocker tonight is San Jose. How about that? So, let's go through this. It's Shesterkin versus Blackwood. Zetterlund fires one wide. The Rangers press at 2 minutes. Brodzinski has a rush chance, that's saved. Teams exchange rushes. The shots are only 2-1 for the Rangers at 6.5 minutes. And then at 7:55, Fox. He scores from Lafreniere and Trocheck. He buries that one in close. It's 1-0 in favor of the Rangers. Shots are 6-2 for the Rangers with 9 minutes left. Couture has a turnover chance, that's saved. The Sharks had a 4-on-2 that completely misfires. Duclair has a net drive that's blocked with 1:23 left. The Sharks get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period with the Rangers ahead 1-0. The Rangers finish the kill and then they score. 1:38, Panarin with a really nice goal. He scores from Fox and Miller. It's 2-0. The Sharks then look to answer. Cooley's denied as the Rangers press. Barabanov has a net drive that's saved. And then the next Barabanov chance is held on to by Igor. Power play for San Jose, that's killed off. The Rangers draw a power play, that's killed off as well. San Jose's penalty kills started really picking it up lately. The shots are 6-4 New York with 9 minutes left. The Rangers are at 9 minutes, and then the Rangers press with 9 minutes left. Don't read the line ahead is what I'm doing here. So there's a power play for the Sharks, and it's killed off. The Rangers press after, they draw a power play, and that's killed off as well. The Sharks press with 3 minutes left, but despite all the power plays, it's 2-0 for the Rangers after 2. Third period. At 2:19, Nico Sturm. This one had no business going in. And as soon as I saw that going in, I was like, oh, we're going to overtime, aren't we? So Sturm gets this one. He just banks it in from the side of the net. Just, it's one of those things. That's why they say just throw it at the net. Just throw it at the net. Things can happen. That's what Sturm did. And the thing that happens is a goal. Shots are 4-2 for the Rangers at 4 minutes. But at 4:27, Carpenter, a shot that deflects in to tie it. Ruda and Zadina with the assists. And Zadina throwing hits in the third period tonight. Who knew that was a thing? So that was only the third shot on net for San Jose in the period as well. So that's 2 goals on 3 shots. It's not the way you want to start the third period. Rangers press to respond. Trocheck to Lafreniere, near miss. Zadina has a one-timer that's saved. Sharks with some momentum after tying it. Some swagger too. Schneider has a tip shot that's held. And that was after there was a press by the Sharks where they're kept to the outside by the Rangers. We get a power play for New York, and it's killed off. We're going to overtime. The Rangers control early. Miller has a shot that's held. Couture fires one wide on a 2-on-1. And then Hurdle on a tic-tac-toe play ends the game. He scores from Ruda and Barabanov at 1:29. So pretty exciting overtime for only being a minute and a half. And San Jose wins 3-2 in overtime. They go to 13-31-4. So they've won 13 games. They've now got 30 points. Not too shabby. The Rangers 29-15-3. And this one really bites them in the backside because they needed this win tonight. The teams beneath them in that division, like I understand, like the Flyers, they lose their game tonight, but Carolina's right there. So shots on net are 9-7 San Jose in the first, 12-6 Rangers in the second, 10-6 Rangers in the third, and 2-1 for the Rangers in the overtime. But San Jose's shot's the one that matters. Final shots 31-22 in favor of the Rangers. Both teams go 0 for 3 on the power play. The hits 14-10 for the Rangers. Shesterkin saves 19 out of 22. Blackwood, another solid game for Blackwood. Talked about him earlier today. He's having a good year. 29 saves on 31 shots. And there you go. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, as always, regarding the games played tonight. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe in the event that you have not done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.